Okay, so moving right along here to slide 15, we're looking at financial intermediaries. An intermediary is meaning like in the middle of something, right? So if we have a financial intermediary, what that means is a company that comes between the person who holds the money and the place where that person wants their money to go, okay? Let's take, for instance, a mutual fund company, right? A mutual fund company like Fidelity. Fidelity Investments is a company that will offer people the ability to invest in the stock market, or they'll offer some retirement plans where people can use them in order to interact directly with the stock market or with various accounts, such as I use the example of a mutual fund. Okay, a mutual fund is a type of stock market investment tool where we have a compilation of various different stocks. So within one fund, let's say we have 50 different stocks, meaning stocks in Microsoft, stocks in Amazon, stocks in Alibaba. So it's a diversified, lower risk fund where people, all they need to do is just invest in this fund, the Fortune 500 fund, and that is a mutual fund, okay? We also have life insurance companies where people can purchase like life insurance so that if they die, some of their loved ones are taken care of. This gets complicated. Honestly, I'm not an expert on life insurance policies, but this is a huge industry. And then finally, banks. Banks are probably what we're most familiar with. Banks offer a variety of intermediary functions, from most of which I shouldn't say most, but some of which we've talked about already. And these are just 3 examples of financial intermediaries, okay? Okay, next let's look at the difference between credit and debit, and we'll look at like credit and debit cards, okay? So let's start by looking at what credit is. So what is credit? Are credit cards like money, for instance? No, credit doesn't represent money in and of itself. Credit represents a loan, okay? So if I buy on credit, maybe you guys have heard of that phrase before, buying on credit. Then what that means is that you don't need to pay for it right now. You can actually pay for it slowly over time, okay? So what a credit card is a type of loan, right? It's where we have the short-term loan with a higher than normal interest rate. And why is that? What's going on there? Well, let's say that you have a Visa card, right? And it's a Visa credit card, and you go to swipe it to buy a new shirt, right? What's happening there is that Visa is paying for the shirt. When you go to swipe for it, it goes from Visa to the vendor, okay? So then when do you pay for the shirt? You pay for the shirt at the end of the month for your credit card. When you make your credit card payments, which are typically like every month, that's when you're going to repay all of the expenses that you have incurred on your credit card over the month. If you don't do that, then your credit score will drop, which is not good because you won't be able to take good loans in the future, and you'll have to pay a fee for not paying back your loan on time. That's how credit cards work. They're not magic, but a lot of people don't understand that. Debit cards, on the other hand, are very simple. They're just like cash. If you swipe a debit card, that money is going straight from your banking account to the vendor that you're buying from. We can see like credit cards in circulation in the U.S. being around 577 million. And I got this data from a couple years ago. So the population in the U.S. was about 3.5 divided by that. So, of the people who had cards, they had about 3.5. But not everybody has cards. So we could look at, let's say the population was like 300 million, I think when I got this data. So it was almost 2 to 1, but not everybody has a card. Those who do have more than one. And the reason why people would have credit cards is because they think that they can repay them on time. And when they do, these credit card companies will offer them cash back, right? So it's kind of a gamble. It's where the credit card companies are hoping that people forget to repay, and people are hoping that they remember, and they'll get rewarded if they do. And it's kind of an interesting system that's going on. Average debt in the American household is around $16,000, which is pretty crazy. Americans are big spenders relative to other countries. They really like to buy on credit. Okay, Module 23 then. Module 23, we're getting into money and what is money. Let me get a new video started for that.